Welcome, y'all, to another episode of the T Corner. Yes, I am back once again, and this is Terence Da Spoken King. And I hope you living your best dreams, your best life, and you're doing it right. Yes, today I want to say we're gonna have a special guest here today. We're gonna have a lady that's been doing a lot of things, and she's gonna come on the show, and she's gonna tell you exactly who she is and what she's been doing. And she's been doing a whole lot of stuff in the art community. And so I like to introduce to y'all right now, Miss Stella Rose, right here on the T Corner.
So much for having me, Terence. I really appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So I know you got this very special thing that you do in the entertainment industry. Go ahead and tell the people exactly what you do and stuff, because I read a little bit of it and it's very interesting. And we're gonna dive in deep about it. So go right ahead.
Okay, well, I wrote a book. I'm an author, a published author now. It took me 8 years to write my memoir called Shattered Windows. And it's about me surviving the legal mafia. I was sued 17 times in 8 years. And obviously that bankrupted me, like it would just about anybody, you know. And then during the course of me being involved in the legal system, I uncovered a white collar crime. And I found out that a law firm had stolen my inheritance worth $125 million. So it took me a long time to get through the process and detail everything. And at one point I was cooperating with the FBI, and, they told me if I knew what was good for me, I would keep my mouth shut. And it's like, well, then you've never met Stella.
Yeah.
Because I'm not good with bullies, Yeah. And so over the course of the year, I've been, I published my book and I get invited to do podcasts and things like that. And what's happening now is what's evolving from all of this is that I'm meeting and, greeting a lot of people, and I'm finding about like other lawyers and some of the things that they've done to people. And, it's really hard to get one lawyer to throw another lawyer under the bus. It's not like if somebody goes to a doctor and the doctor messes up and, you have a malpractice lawsuit. When you're dealing in the legal arena, it's really hard to get one lawyer to say, oh, yeah, this lawyer did this, 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 and this. They just don't want to do it. But, other victims or, other survivors will come forward, will tell you what their story is. So now I'm just getting so much information from so many different people. Like one of the big cases right now is like the Erica Girardi and Tom Girardi case. And I talked to the lawyers that are on that case. You know what I mean? And so, and I dealt with 360legal.com and stuff like that. And it's basically just continue to spread awareness about legal negligence by lawyers is what it comes down to. And, streaming it on TikTok, it's a lot of exposure and a lot more people involved.
That's like a movie. And before we go any further, I was getting a little bit of feedback and stuff. Is your connection good on your end? Because we was getting like a little bit of static, and I was like, that's why you saw me take off the headphones. I was raising up the speakers, like, okay, yeah, okay. I had to make sure it wasn't me. I was like, oh, wait, hold on, okay. So yeah, we was just getting a little bit of static in there, but it's cool though. we still got a whole bunch of what you were saying. But yeah, that is a movie. Like for real. Like when you were saying everything that's went on with you, I was like literally picturing like a movie like Goodfellas, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and that's based on a true story, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, yo, this can't be happening and stuff. Like people don't have lives like this. And then I here's your story. I'm like, this a movie. Like, and I'm just blessed that you made it through it and stuff. But you still feeling the effects of it. But yo, you lived a life and a half.
I have. I it's remarkable that like I made it out seemingly normal. I mean, I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I
Hmm.
openly I openly talk about my post-traumatic stress disorder because I don't see how anybody could make it through something like that and not have some kind of residual from it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
it's the that part of it is still I'm coping with, but
Hmm.
I was lucky that like I made it alive. I'm lucky that, I still have my brain together. I suffered a
Yeah.
stroke, like the stress was so bad I suffered a stroke, but I and I think the only reason why I made it through is because I was protected by a higher power.
Come on now. Yes, indeed. I think that's the reason why a majority of us make it through each and every single day. But yo, I I'm like, yo, it's both a testimony and both an awesome story to tell at the same time. And it's just amazing that you was able to tell your story and get it out there, because this may help someone along the way that's going through the same struggles, the same everything that you went through. You know what I'm saying?
And that's it. That's one of the reasons why people write books. They say that
Hmm.
people start writing books when they're like in their 50s. Well, I'm not 50 yet, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's to help other people and say, look, this is what I spent my life here on earth doing, and in my particular situation, I feel like with the bullying that the law
Hmm.
firms did, people are just too scared to speak up. Or another person that I don't want to say I was in contact with, but know of, that person, he just went completely crazy. So
Hmm.
you have to keep your wits about yourself. And you have to
Yeah.
know that, the bad guys don't win all the time. Money's
Yeah.
not everything. But,
Yeah.
a lot of people ask me why I didn't give up. And the reason why I didn't give up is because, like, every time I would get like one little piece of information that would
Hmm.
just uncover just so much more about the criminal activity that was going on, and the story was unfolding right at my feet. And
Hmm.
I didn't want to give up, like
Oh
giving up
yeah.
would have been the easier thing to do. But, Sagittariuses are that way. We don't want to give up. I wanted to know the story. I wanted to know what happened.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So so yeah, I, I'm like this, yo. Like like I feel bad that you went through all this and you had to suffer a stroke and stuff. And but the crazy thing about it is that you didn't even ask for this. This is like how you said, it was just playing out in front of your feet. And like like you was like the innocent one that was just in the middle of it, and I'm like, yo, to me that be mind blowing for me to go do something like that. And I'm like this, yo, first of all, how the hell did I get involved in this? Secondly, how do I even step away from this? And I could imagine like the thousands of questions that was going on in your mind and stuff like that. And it's just a miracle that you still standing here. That's the blessing.
Yeah, I thank you. Thank you for saying that. I mean, the questions that go on in your mind, they never stop, and they'll
Hmm.
take over if you let it. But
Hmm.
what interestingly, what you pointed out there was, so if this wasn't my life, and if this wasn't a true story, people wouldn't believe it. Okay,
Hmm.
so it's in the book. It starts out by saying that here on my path, on my journey, I meet up with this man, this lawyer,
Hmm.
who changes the course of my life forever.
Hmm.
And it was, to me, it was random. Like some random person who knew nothing about me walks into my life, takes, my corporate rights, my company stock away, my money, my real estate, gone, just poof in an instant. And it's hard for people to wrap their head around how a chance meeting like that can happen. And you could spend all day trying to wrap your head around things like that, but for me it was just easier to tell the story. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
you can't go into
Most definitely.
motives. I mean, you can, but I think it's a lot of wasted time to try to figure out what was going on in that guy's head. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because I don't years of therapy would just make you realize that, a criminal mind, they have a conscience, but they choose not to use it. If you're going to
Exactly.
come Yeah, if you're going to come with the approach that, well, why would somebody do something like that? That's a valid point, but you're not thinking from the same mindset of that person.
Exactly. And I grew up around wise people. You know what I'm saying? And they was like this. They broke down the law of life for me at a young age, and they was like, including my dad and stuff. And they was like, yo, every choice has a consequence, and every movement that you make has has a good and a bad. And they broke it down to me like that, and it was like this. And one person broke it down to me even further. They was like, every person is gifted a script A and a script B. And then when you come to another crossroads, is another script A script B. It's already written. You make the choice of which destiny you want to take. So all of us that's walking, that's moving, that's in this moment right now, people that's listening or not listening, people that's um that want to do podcasting or not do podcasting, we all have choices to make. That's our God-given right there, like our free will thinking. Now, with every choice, like I said, comes a consequence. It's either a good one or a bad one. But we all gotta be willing to, you know, like accept what our fate is. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
So
totally agree.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
that's why I don't try to, say, hey, hey, this person over here made a bad decision. Like, yo, okay, look, we don't know what they was thinking. Like how you said, you don't think know what another person is thinking. You just pray for them. You know what I'm saying? That's all you could do at the end of the
And
day. Because
and none of us are perfect. We've all been
come
there.
on,
We obviously have seen people that have made mistakes that, like
mm-hmm,
I'm like, oh, I've been there, done that, like I already know this, that, or whatever. But
mm-hmm,
free will is your choice. And yes, every action does have a consequence to it,
mm-hmm,
And I think what I've learned through this process is to look at everything from both sides,
come on,
because I don't want to be, judge, jury, and executioner. Like I'm not going to
exactly,
judge people based on, obviously this lawyer had a reason for what it was that he was doing, and
yeah,
on and on and on. But the thing about it is discipline, self-discipline is an exercise, no different than walking, no different than going to the gym. Self
mm-hmm,
discipline is an exercise, and a
mm-hmm,
temptation is always going to be there. Like if I decide that I'm not going to drink, let's say for a whole month, dry January, people are like, I'm
mm-hmm,
not going to have any alcohol. Just know that temptation is going to be there. It's up to you
exactly.
to either, stick with that goal or not stick with that goal.
Come
That's
on
your
now,
free will, right?
mm-hmm,
If you break your sobriety, the only person you're cheating is yourself if you're looking to complete that goal. But that example can basically be used in any format, right?
yeah,
Just know that anytime that you're exercising self-discipline, because there's a consequence to your free will action,
mm-hmm,
that temptation will always be there. May not be as strong as time goes by, but it'll be there. So like the devil is always testing us.
come on now. You not telling no lie on that one. And look, I remember one pastor once said this, and it was a controversial saying, but he said, no, think about it for a minute. The devil never makes you do anything. All he does is give you an offer. Be like, yo, hey, you could do this, but hey, don't this look appeasing? Don't you want to do this? Like, and it's our choice. Be like this, yo, I want that, but we don't know what the consequence is for us getting that. That's why I called it script B, because it's always like this. You have one side doing this. Okay, we got this script right here, and you have the other side, the devil. He like this. Yeah, but don't my script look very good? Don't you want to be this? Don't you want to have all this money, or all these fancy cars? I'm just naming off stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's the glitz and glam and all this and stuff. But at what price? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing, and we know that that it's my belief that
Mm-hmm,
our God source energy supplies us
mm-hmm,
with everything. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Money comes from God. It can come from the devil too, though. It's
Yeah.
not saying that you can't have fancy cars, you can't have, a
Mm-hmm.
nice house or anything like that. When my dad was running the business, we had no issues. He had tons of
Yeah.
fancy, he had a car collection, whatever, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. But I feel like, people say, oh, money's the root of all evil. No, evil's the root of all evil. Money is nothing but
Exactly.
paper. Money is
Come on
nothing
now.
but paper. So you have to, and it's always a fine balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of being an author, part of you doing podcasts, part of
Mm-hmm.
our careers as being in media and entertainment, because this is
Yeah.
entertainment, is
Mm-hmm.
to let people know and check in, like, this is where I'm at in life. This
Yeah.
is what I've learned. this is where I'm going. But, not to say that, I haven't done things in the past that,
Hmm.
weren't correct or whatever. I'm not a perfect
Yeah,
person. You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. None of us are.
None of
I
us
mean,
are.
yeah, none of us are. And I like what you said because I always tell people this: do not value something that's the weight of the same paper you write with. And they be looking at me like, what do you mean? I said, think about it. What's a dollar bill? When you strip it of all its symbols, of all its pictures and stuff like that, it's a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper that you could just write with, a green piece of paper, or whatever piece of paper they use, because I know in different countries they use different colors and stuff, but it's just a piece of paper that we put value on. And some people treasure that value than treasuring what true life is. And true life is strip everything away and see what's really valuable in life.
It's true. I mean, even on the dollar bill, it says, "In God we trust."
Come on now.
And what I tell people all the time is like the difference between a dollar bill and a $10 bill or $100 bill are the zeros following the one. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So people who chase the money are chasing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you hit it right on the head right there. And that's why you would never catch me chasing after money. I'm like, yo, I just can't do it because I see the true value of of everything. I'm like, yo, that's something that I don't want to chase. It's like, yo, I rather build this than chase that. Like, yo, if I build this, you know, the money will come. Like, and that's why I started doing the podcasting, because I said, you know what, let me build something that's for the art community, like for the poets, for the authors, for the painters, for the musicians, for the producers, and tattoo artists. As long as you in art in some fashion, form, or way, I'm like, yo, I want you on this show. I'm not doing this for no money and stuff like that. Because when the moment you start doing stuff, when you start doing your passion for money, that's when you lose the true meaning of your passion. And
Because the money took over and the passion and the energy went away from the passion.
mhm,
And that's really about focus, right?
exactly,
Isn't that what
exactly.
it comes down to focus?
Yes, indeed. And this is like a subject that I love discussing with people, because like I said, this could be an hour show right here, and we could just keep on going. I'm like this, yo. But for time being, I'm just gonna keep on going. Telling you, this could easily turn into a 2-hour show.
You could always have me back. We don't have to do just one podcast.
Oh, no, no, no. You definitely have a seat to come back anytime. I'm like, yo, because the message that you have for the world, the message that you have for people in general, this is on some deep caliber stuff that, as a poet, like, I see stuff that most people take for granted. Like, I could see like a crack in the wall and come up with a beautiful poem about a canyon that I'm walking through, because I'm seeing like abstract, I'm seeing the world in a different form than other people will see it. And by you talking about life the way you described it and stuff, that's enticing the poet in me. I'm like, yo, this definitely a hour show. Most definitely. So yes, indeed.
Well, what speaks to me about your statement is that in the same context where somebody would say the glass is half full or the glass is, half empty,
Mhm,
you might see a crack in the wall and picture something beautiful coming out of that, where, and then from that inspiration, a poem would develop, and then those words and that act of consideration will speak
mhm,
to the masses. So it's a
mhm,
gift that you have, it's a
mhm.
passion of yours, and you're obviously very successful because you're very wildly popular on Facebook. You know what I
Yes,
mean? So
indeed.
I mean, you have a long list of guests that you're working with, and it
Yeah,
was an
and that's
honor
a
to be able
blessing.
to connect with you on Facebook.
Hmm. And that was like a blessing in disguise, because um and one, like, very recently I was going through heavy depression and stuff, because stuff wasn't coming around the way that I pictured it and stuff like that. But something inside of me just kept on saying, keep on doing these podcasts, keep on doing these podcasts. And I went just to two groups on my Facebook, just two. And I asked one question. And like how the Bible says, like, your cup will run it over. I'm on one day, I was answering so many people, because I don't just, put a heart on there. I like to connect with people on a one-on-one basis. It may take me a week, it may take me a day, it may take me, a month, but I like to connect with everybody I run into in some fashion, form, or way, because that's who I am. I don't believe in, you know, hey, put a mass text out there for everybody. No, I want to connect with people. Like, so you would say, oh yeah, this guy actually connected with me. He actually talked with me. And that's how I was just raised and stuff. But when I tell you, it's it's done wonders for me as a person, as a human being, that I'm just like so grateful that people would give this guy, a chance, and like, yo, yeah, yeah, we want to be on your show. I'm like, yo, you y'all don't know who I am, but it's just like God was using y'all to heal me, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to
Aw.
say that, you know what I'm saying? And that's the deepest saying that I could actually tell any guest that's coming on my show at this time. Like, this is my passion. This is something I love to do. And God just said, you know what? I'm about to bless you. And my cup just ran over. I was like this, yo, how am I going to answer all these people? And I'm like this, you know what? I'm just going to do it one by one. I don't care how long it takes me. I don't care how many people keep on coming in. I'm gonna keep on answering y'all. Hey, look here. I'm working and answering y'all at my job. I'm like, yo, like, cause this is this is like, I could do this because I did this for free. And so money is not my driving force for this. No. Um Money
It's
is
not
not
your
my
motivation because
yeah,
it's a God-given gift and you're
yeah.
acting on that.
Exactly. And I had a professor that once told me, And he told the whole class this. He said, if you are willing to do something for free, that is not a hobby no more. That's your passion. That's what you was built on this earth to do. And I've actually understood what he meant about that. And he's actually been tuning into some of my shows and stuff. And just to hear him say that he's proud of what I'm doing and stuff, man, that's even more, in like more powerful, like energy for me to keep on going and stuff. So, yo, to everybody that come on my show, thank y'all.
No, and what I've learned through my experience and all my trauma about depression and anxiety, because they're best friends.
Hey, come on
Depression
now.
is when you think too much in the past, and
Mm-hmm.
anxiety is when you think too much in the future.
Future.
So when you catch yourself in those times, because we're all going to be there, we've all been there, and we're going to be there because none of us are perfect,
Yeah.
and you center yourself. It has to start like just 1 second at a time, 1 moment at a time, 1 minute at a time, 5 minutes at a time, and just start with your breathing and saying, today is Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. Centering yourself will help keep the balance. And with the amount of people that you have in queue, just know that the people that you are meant to interview, they're going to wait in line. They're going to wait their turn. And if somebody drops off or whatever, I feel like they were just holding space for the next person that'll step up. But you can never lose what you didn't have.
Exactly.
So I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of you that you're doing it. You're doing your thing. And I want to tell people because I am on TikTok Live, I want to tell people T Corner is the name of this podcast, and they're on Spotify and YouTube. And the name of the gentleman is Terence Da Spoken King. And he's also, you can find him on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. And when you look me up on Facebook or on YouTube, it's Terence Terence, the DA, and then Spoken King. So yeah, it's been an honor just to have you on the show and stuff. And like I said, you always gonna have a seat on this show. You always so yeah. This is a topic, ladies and gentlemen, that we cannot just fit in just one show.
No, I mean my book is 400. Okay, wait, listen. My book is a commitment. It's a 10 and a half hour read. My Audible is 10 and a half hours. It's not something, I just did an event on Saturday that was 6 hours. It's not something that we would cover in 30 minutes. And I would love to just, be a guest again. I know you have other people that you need to get to, but we will meet up again, Terence.
Oh yes. In fact, I'm going to shoot you a link in a little bit, so we could get that, squared away, because we need to have you back on as soon as possible so that we could continue to talk about your book, your trials, what your tribulations and everything that you done went through, because there's a message, a heavy message behind it. And it's not just about people that's going through what you went through. It's about life in general. And that is such a driving force in the universe. Keep that up. You know what I'm saying? Just keep that energy, keep them vibes, and everything that you do will be a blessing. It's just that simple.
from your mouth from your mouth to God's ears. Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate it. It is important to support each other in this world,
Mm-hmm.
especially like, during the trying times that we're having right now. But
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate you, and I look forward to sharing out the links. Now, are you going to send me the link to the podcast and the YouTube?
Yes, ma'am, I am. Yes, yeah, I'm gonna send you everything from the iTunes to the Anchor, Spotify, the YouTube. Yeah, I'm
Don't
sending you everything.
don't you love iTunes? I love
Oh
how
yeah.
I love iTunes. I love how one of my one of the ways that I publish my book, they have
Mm-hmm.
it out on iTunes and they have it out on Apple. And as an
Mm-hmm.
author, other people need to know that that is, some people are afraid to do self-publishing or independent publishing, but
Mm-hmm.
you get paid like way more money from iTunes and Apple than you do
Mm-hmm.
from some of the other services. And I know we can't say a dollar amount or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just saying, like, love iTunes, love Apple Books, love, the ability to be able to, it's not that I know you're not doing it for the money, and obviously I didn't do this for the money either, but it's also nice to have that energy exchange. There's nothing wrong with making money off of, sending out your message. And we're not Mother Teresa, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
don't be afraid to profit, because you have to have a good relationship with money. You have to
Oh
invite
yeah.
it into your life. It's a
Oh
currency.
yeah.
It comes and it goes. But I'm just saying, like, for other people who want to do self-publishing and stuff like that, iTunes, Apple, excellent ways. Everybody just thinks Amazon. Amazon's only one way, and I do like Amazon, but I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying, like, okay, so you're on iTunes, you're on Apple. People can find my link, because I'm going to be posting links.
Mm-hmm.
I'll post it on my TikTok. I'll post it on my Instagram. I'll post it on my
Okay.
YouTube. I'll post it on my Facebook. And my
Okay.
handle is Stella Rose all day, so you can tag me. And
Okay.
I can't wait to do it again. I had a ball with you, Terence.
Oh yes, indeed. And you said Stella Rose.
It's Stella Rose all day is my tag.
Okay, all day. Okay, I got it. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. Once again, that's a wrap right there. So this is Terence the Spoken King signing out. One love, one dream, and we out, y'all.
Peace.
And